Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please join with me in a minute of silence to remember the fallen, the prisoners of war, the missing in action, and honor those who have served and are serving this great nation's armed services.
We're doing it for.
Let's uncover, and we'll have 1 minute of silence. That should be good. Cover. They probably want me to go out and watch. Thank you all for joining us today. We are gathered here at this memorial site and memorial sites all across America to remember that we are one nation with one flag. We are all proud to be Americans that live in a free society made up of many people we are all proud to be Americans that live in a free society made up of many people, many races, many walks of life. The freedom we enjoy today have not come without a price. Lying here before us in cemeteries throughout this nation are men and women who gave their lives so that we can live in freedom without fear. We can worship as we see fit, we can raise our children, and to believe as we do, we can travel from one end of this great nation to the other and not have asked permission to go. We are free to vote whomever we feel should be in government office, and we answer to no one but our own feelings. We have the right to succeed and the right to fail at whatever endeavor we wish to pursue. The United States of America was founded on the ideals of freedom, justice, equality. Our nation stands as a shining beacon of liberty and freedom to the world. We thank those who gave their lives to keep us free, and we shall not forget you. We all shall remember. Today, many of you are here are veterans of the wars and conflicts that America has had to fight to protect the innocent and the oppressed. America has always been the first nation to stand up for the freedom of people from around the world. Many of us here today have answered that call to serve our country well. We are here today to say thank you. So we are honored to know you. There are many men and women serving today in all branches of the military, here at home and in places far away. Most of us have never heard of. These men and women are part of the best trained, best equipped force in the world. We honor them and their families for the sacrifice they make each day to keep our country safe from terrorism, hatred, and injustice. When you see a veteran or an active duty member of the armed forces, take a minute to say thank you. We owe them our way of life and a moment of your time as well spent. Quoting our 40th president, Ronald Reagan, quote, "Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for and protected, handed on for them to do the same. Or one day we spend our sunset years telling our children's children what it was once like in the United States where men were free," end quote. It's on the back too, so.
No, that's probably good right there, right?
Yeah.
Would like me to take over?
No, no, no.
I got a few remarks that I'll make too. And I'm good with that. Okay. I'll just speak loud.
All right.
I'm just going to speak loud. I'm Dave Johnson. My brothers and I and some of our family are here. Our parents and my sister, who died in 1988 in the bombing of Pan Am 103, is buried here. And because of that, we started a foundation under our parents' guidance. And that's why we're able to do things like this, making a gift to Wreaths across America to honor all of our veterans who are buried here. So we're very proud to do that. Saddened, of course, every year at this particular time, but very proud as a family to be able to do that. I want to say thank you enormously to the town of Wayland, to Department of Public Works, Joe Doucette in particular, and his crew, who none of this would have happened without their help. What they've done with the snowstorm and helping us gather wreaths together and all the rest of it is very, very appreciative. So for all you guys from DPW, I can't thank you enough. Awesome job. Richard Turner, too.
That comes from me too.
Yep, of course it does. And Richard,
Thank you very much. The Wayland DPW is a special group of people.
well, I think as your comments just mentioned, you know, in this great country of ours, government has to work. And that's government. That's what makes us able to go to the store, whether it's Benson's or buy a vehicle or whatever we have to do.
Right.
We got to have,
Right.
the roads have to be plowed and the systems have to work. So again, thank you very much. I guess I'd dovetail right on your statement from Ronald Reagan about, you know, freedom being very, very tenuous. And I think perhaps this year more than some others, that's all come crashing home. And we need to be mindful and we need to be respectful, but we need to also teach our young people what many seem to be forgetting very, very quickly. That this is a very tenuous thing that we've done here. And it's a very special thing, this country of ours. And a lot of special people that we're honoring here today. Two in particular that I want to honor. Excuse me. I knew this would be somewhat emotional, but seeing all my fellow Americans and doing this together is making it that much more poignant for me. Our father was a kid born in Maine, raised his family here in Massachusetts, and joined the service like almost everybody else did in World War II, and went from being 17 years old, 18 years old, to all of a sudden being a full-grown man, having survived the Battle of the Bulge and fought and killed and watched men and friends die. And he's here today behind me, and we will honor him with a special commemorative wreath. Another man who was my neighbor, who I didn't know as a boy, was the hero that I'm about to tell you about, is a man, William Shannon, who's buried right down here. I grew up the first few years of my life on Cole Road. Mr. Shannon was one of our neighbors who I saw my father, you know, played cards with. They shared a beer. He mowed his lawn. I had no idea who Bill Shannon was until much later in life, because they didn't talk about such things. But I will tell you who Bill Shannon was. By virtue of the Navy Cross that was presented to him after his efforts as a 24-year-old man, originally from Waltham, living with his wife at that time on Iwo Jima. And this is from the President of the United States to William Shannon, at the time United States Marine Corps Reserve. For services as set forth in the following citation. For extraordinary heroism as a platoon leader of Company A, 1st Battalion, 25th Marines, 4th Marine Division in action against enemy Japanese forces in Iwo Jima, Volcano Islands, February 1945. Landing on D-Day with the first wave of infantry, 2nd Lieutenant Shannon courageously led his platoon inland in the face of intense hostile mortar, rocket, artillery, and small arms fire. When his company's right flank was held up by heavy machine gun fire from an enemy pillbox, he advanced 30 yards ahead of his frontline troops with 2 riflemen covering him, and after failing in an attempt to destroy the Japanese emplacement with hand grenades, courageously led a charge on the position with 2 riflemen. Although subjected to devastating hostile machine gun fire from 2 mutually supporting enemy positions during the charge, 2nd Lieutenant Shannon continued inside the position. When his carbine jammed, he clubbed to death the enemy manning the machine gun while his 2 comrades bayoneted the remaining troops. His bravery, initiative, and aggressive fighting spirit throughout were in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. And that was presented to Mr. Shannon, Lieutenant Shannon, by the Secretary of the Navy. I guess what struck me I graduated from Wayland High School in 1977. Because of my great good fortune, I was never old enough to serve or too young to serve in combat. But these men that I did not know what they have done for me, who they didn't know, I didn't exist or wouldn't without their efforts. I'm profoundly grateful. And so we will place some of these commemorative wreaths we have from Wreaths Across America. We have one for each branch of the service, including the Coast Guard. Then we also have one for the Merchant Marine and one for POW MIA. We'll place the Army wreath on my father's grave for my family, and I will take the Marine Corps wreath down to Mr. Shannon's grave. So, having said that, I wonder if you would join me in the Lord's Prayer, and then we will, I guess, end this and do what we're doing, okay? Our Father, who art in heaven,
Hallowed be thy name.
thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
So thank you to all of our veterans, and thank you all for remembering how important this is. And I hope we can do it again next year. Gentlemen, thank you. And Merry Christmas to all, right? Merry Christmas. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for doing that.
Really, from our hearts. Love you all. Thank you.
And salute.
Merry Christmas, Pop.
Careful, Carl.
I didn't know you had to do that.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Keep down. And salute. Two.
Okay. That was my sister Mary. Yes.
Okay.
I haven't cut it since.
Nope.
Yeah.
Thankfully, only one.
Appreciate you coming.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
You should really a lot.
That's 670 to jam.
Wait a second.
In order to get out of the crack shaft, you have to throw the rifle up on
We have
top
a,
and then climb out.
gonna do the name.
Really?
You gotta let me know, Richard.
Wait. Hold the salute.
I'll be in business class. Tiffany Pastor.
I'll be right behind you. You and I could travel together.
Fiona, how are you?
I'm gonna have to order some
Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming out.
brave yeah, and I saw the POW.
Don't do it now. Okay. Don't do it now. I'll get Dave to show you. Makes it a lot quicker if you get a head start on it.
Nice to have a. Anywhere you see one of the veterans. All right, good. for the past, covered Horatio Lux.
We just went by his new house this morning.
Down there.
Is he a veteran?
Yeah. Someone else did. I cleared it. I saw someone else. These are empty. I checked them all. They're empty. Yeah.
And then as I went by, there was a pickup truck. Supposedly long way on the other side, 20 south, going down Wayne. Right up front against the guardrail.
I know what you mean, sir.
Buried in snow. He went to the up in the air, what about 50 feet away?
Going well.
Spring.